So on the weekend, basically developed excruciating back pain. As a physio, I wanted to put a video together and run through some of the things that I did to try and give myself relief during the day. Basically what happened for us, we've got a 4.5-month-old over the last 2 days, played mini golf with the kids. So I was holding our 4.5-month-old on a front pack. In that position, holding them, you're hyperextending through your thoracic and lumbar junction. So that position there, bending down to pick up the golf ball, there's a big levering force through my lower back. I happened to use this front pack 2 days in a row, and it was on the second day that I was holding her in a sustained position where I was just standing, that my back just gradually tightened up and then locked up. A lot of you have probably experienced that yourself, and then you're basically bedridden where you can't move around. So in this video, we're going to run through some of the things that I did to try and give myself relief just to get through those first 3 or 4 days. So number one is pain relief. So basically you want to either go to your GP or see your pharmacist. I recommend GP because the prescription is probably going to be helpful. You want to get good pain relief on board, whether that's just plain paracetamol or anti-inflammatory. Basically what you're looking to do here is just take a little bit of that discomfort out of your back, put your body in a more, not a fight or flight system, but just try and calm it down a little bit so it can be a bit more relaxed. It also will help you to hopefully get a better night's sleep, which will again just help you to relax, so hopefully those muscles don't stay locked on, because those muscles being so tight is also contributing to some of your discomfort. Number two, so stay moving. Don't sit for extended periods of time, don't lie for extended periods of time, and don't be standing for extended periods of time. So when standing, try and be moving, little short walks, sit for short periods, because sometimes sitting feels better because it opens up the space in your spine. Sitting often feels more comfortable, but if that back pain is discogenic in nature, that constant sitting is putting an anterior force on that disc. So it might feel better because there's room in sitting. As soon as you stand up, you feel blocked and you feel this real restricted movement and this constant dull ache that's normally going across your back. So basically the main thing is you want to stay moving. You want to be sitting, standing, lying down. You want gentle rotation as well, and you can do that in a supported position either on your back, or you can do it even in standing where you're gently just going through ranges that feel comfortable for you. If we can keep your spine moving, you're going to go further on to improving that pain over the next couple of days. If you stay stationary and locked up, that back is going to stay spasmed and it's going to be very hard for you to settle those muscles down. So number three, to help with the movement, is heat. So I used a heat bag, I used hot showers. I found by having the hot shower on my back, it was like a desensitization kind of thing. Having the heat on my lower back also helped to make those muscles more relaxed, which then took them off high guard. It's not locking up my back as much, and I felt like I could get a little bit more movement. It helped me, especially in the morning, because for me, mornings were really difficult. So moving on to the different exercises that I used. So first one was a bit of cat-cow. So in all fours, I was actually just tilting my pelvis and tilting my pelvis back. Now, today I still have back pain. It's not completely resolved. So it's still not perfect, and it's okay in this extension position, but as soon as I roll my back, I'm feeling this sort of pulling pain through my lower back. So what I was looking for was, I wasn't trying to over push the range of motion in the first couple of days. I was just trying to keep my back moving to some degree. So that's sort of cat-cow. Moving from cat-cow, I then went into a cobra stretch. Now I don't recommend you lying flat like this and pushing up into a cobra stretch first up, because if it is a bit disky in nature and everything's locked up, you're potentially pinching or irritating some soft tissue while doing that, and you can actually send you back into further spasm. And I've seen, while working in emergency departments, some people who've gone into that extension stretch actually locked themselves up, had to get an ambulance into the hospital. So if you're doing that, well, when I was doing it, I was adding extra blocks. So foam roller under my pelvis, so I'm just taking away from that end range, and I'm encouraging a little bit of extension. To be brutally honest, when I first started, I probably had 3 or 4 big pillows under my pelvis, and that meant I wasn't really getting into extension, but I was just in a supported, comfortable environment, getting just a bit of range through my back, which then made me feel better when I got to standing. So then I used the Crossbow. I found this really helpful. All my erector spine, QL, all the muscles through my lower back were like rocks. So I had a ball, I leant into it on one side of my spine, so not directly through the middle, just off to the side, and I just rolled up and down through those muscles, just trying to release them off. If anything, it was more of a desensitization, so I used that on both the right side and left side of my spine. Additionally, because I found it really difficult to get on the ground to stretch my glutes, because I couldn't put my shoes on, couldn't put my socks on, I wasn't going to be risking getting on and off the floor, I used it through my glutes. Because of the pain I was in, just everything locked up. So through there on my glute, I just rolled side to side and did mini squats through there, because I could hold and brace my back in a really nice position and just release through there. Because I couldn't get on and off the ground to do a glute stretch, I then used a high surface. So I'd recommend using the back of the couch, an armrest of the couch, because I could pop my foot on the bed or couch and just lean into a glute stretch. Once I could get myself onto the ground, and I also did this on my bed because it's a little bit easier, I even did some just gentle lumbar rolls, like so, and then I did some more sustained lumbar positions just into rotation, because I was encouraging that movement, and also some knee tucks, just to keep it all moving. Additionally, my whole back and all the joints inside my back were really stiff, so I used a lacrosse ball and just placed it on one side of my back into different positions, and I used my knees to just gently pull my knees over just to mobilize my back. I then looked at different spots that were tight and mobilized through that entire lumbar spine. So these are just some of the simple exercises that I personally used when I irritated my back. I found them to be quite beneficial, but they're not perfect for everyone. So they're things that you've got to introduce very slowly and gently to see if you get the relief from it. So for instance, when I did the extension exercises, I made sure that there was a lot of padding underneath my pelvis. I just moved into that position. If I was feeling pain, that means it was too early for me to do. With the release stuff, again, I released through my lower back with the ball. I stood up, it felt like it gave me relief, so it's something that I continue to pursue. And that's what I did with all those different exercises. And no, doing those exercises just didn't make me feel better, but what it did do is give me a little bit of relief. It allowed me to stay more active during this back spasm irritation. Look, I'm not perfect right now, but now I've been able to transition into things like a bit of walk jogging, because walk and jogging, what that does is changes the amount of extension through your back. So when you walk into extension. The faster that you move, the more extension through your back you get. So doing some walk jogging is a nice way of compensating for the bending and flexing and the amount of sitting that we do on an everyday basis. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope it helps you through your next back spasm. And obviously, for people who do go through that experience, go and see your local physio. It doesn't necessarily make you feel better on the day, although it quite often does. It just helps you transition onto that sort of improvement and gets you moving quicker and gets you through that discomfort a little bit better.